Okay, let's get right into it. Many times you might be playing a preset patch. And you wished you had an extra hand, so you could play perhaps a bass line or some nice string sounds together with that. Beautiful pad, maybe you want to have that in the background or changing tracks here. A nice orchestral sound. You just wish you had an extra pair of hands. That's a very long sustain, isn't it? That's better? Yeah. You wish you had an extra pair of hands so you could play those parts at the same time as you're playing your interesting preset. Well, this keyboard allows you to do that, kind of, actually using 8 pairs of hands. 16 hands, if I've done my maths correctly, because for every preset here, you are able to record your own 8-track sequence and then store it with the preset. It's actually phenomenal. I'd say the 2 killer features of this keyboard are the sounds, a huge library of the best of Roland sounds, and this particular feature using the sequencer. So let's dive into it now. The first thing, make sure you're in the sequencer mode here, and then you're able to, perhaps you can see on the screen, I'm not sure how much the camera is picking up, but as we change the tracks from 1 through to 8, you'll hear them playing. So we've got a nice lead there. Track 2. Beautiful pad. Here we have like an echo piano. 4, I think we've got nothing. Just the default piano. Here I've got a nice polysynth pluck. Of course, once you've selected your track, well, it's not so obvious, but you can tweak it. Like so. Let's just give myself a bit more gain here. Here we have the string sound. Here, a bass. An acoustic bass I've gone for here. So this is a pattern I've created myself. I've chosen all of these tracks myself, the sounds for each track. Here we have the drums. Pretty nice. An acoustic drum kit. So I've gone for an acoustic vibe here. I've called this particular scene. A scene is what it's called when you combine lots of different sounds. Correctly called tones in Roland speak. When you combine those together with a sequence, you store that as a scene. This is one I've put together. I'll play you through it first, then we'll break it down. So I'm going to go into the mute mode, and we've got some tracks muted right now. Let's select first our piano. Go back into mute mode, start the sequence. I'll talk you through what I'm doing as I'm making some changes. Just doing this on the fly, completely unrehearsed. We'll see what we can come up with. So starting off with a nice little synth riff, let's let this play through a couple of times. If I go to that track, I can actually filter it. Let's have something soft. Let's bring in a nice little polysynth. Again, if we change to that track, back into the mute mode, I can let's bring in the piano. See if we can come up with a melody. It's quite nice. Change tracks. Beautiful. Bring in the drums. Forgot the chord progression. Bring in the bass. Take a listen. Let's drop the drums out and I'll do a little solo. Here we go. Bring the drums back in. Let's go back to our pad, which I think we had there. Get the idea. Let me break that down a little bit for you, although I think I kind of did as we talked through the track. But basically, if you get out of the mute mode, we're just in the sequencer mode, you can step through the tracks. You can see on the screen it's changing which track we're playing. I can adjust the volume just by adjusting the dial for that track. So it's quite nice. And once we've selected a track, as you saw, I'm able to manipulate the real-time controls, which is really great. These 4 sliders I don't find myself using very much. They're not very helpful. They adjust always the mic input level, the track, whatever that is. 3R offset, don't know what that's doing. Ah, the rhythm. Okay, the rhythm offset. Let's try that. Bring the drums back in. Yeah, not sure what that's all about, but these two just adjust the part 2 level, part 1. I'd much prefer if these somehow adjusted the volume of the part that you have selected, but they're always doing part 1, part 2. Let's just verify that. Change to a different track. Yeah, part 1 level, part 2 level. So these faders are kind of useless. You'll need to go into the menus a little bit if you want to adjust the panning, the volume of your tracks and so on. And I see I've completely messed things up right now. So let's bring that in. Track 2, which was our lovely pad. Take a listen. These are beautiful kind of JV 1080 style pads. So pretty. Let's try messing with the cutoff here. Okay. Bit of resonance. I mean, say what you will, Roland make some of the very nicest warm pad sounds. That's beautiful. Love it. And we had the echo piano here. I will, in a separate video, actually show you how to create these sequences from scratch. But basically, if we just take the piano track, you press record. Here is the page. The only thing you need to change, really, these are the sequencer recording settings. You've got your step length. 16 is the default. I always crank that up to the maximum. Hit play. You get a 4-beat count in. Then you're good to go. We can lay down a little piano part. And it was muted, so I think I probably played over myself as it was looping around. So let's take a listen to the result with it, the track unmuted. There you go. So that was actually going around twice, right? So I overdubbed myself. But the results are quite nice. We can adjust the level. Quite nice. There are some very significant shortcomings to the sequencer, but I actually have some other demo tracks that I've recorded as well. So I will, as a bit of a cliffhanger, save some of my frustrations with the sequencer for that video, because this was the first scene that I put together myself. So a bit of experimental thing, really, just trying to figure it out. The results were okay, but the other scenes I've created are much better. I did like a chill ambient groove thing, some synth pop, and what was the final one I did that came out really nice? Oh, like an ambient new age thing that was quite beautiful as well. So I'll do separate videos breaking those down. But if we just continue with this particular scene, let's get it going. Mute. There's the drums. Everything was 64 steps, so I can get some variations. Listen, percussion. You can use the TR-Rec mode as well, if you want, so you can just punch in the steps like you would do with a normal drum machine, but I don't use that mode because that limits you to just 16 steps, which isn't really enough to give you variation. So I record everything real time using the sequencer and have 64 steps. That's 4 measures. So what else have we got? Some bass. I think this is called nylon bass, an acoustic bass sound. I like it. You had to go in and dial down the reverb. By default, tons of reverb on all of the sounds, even the basses. What else? A nice kind of Pet Shop Boys string sound. That one, let's filter it down a bit. That's better. Even this one. I love how you can just manipulate each track in real time. You can even record these parameter changes, although I haven't done that. And I only sequence those 4 parts. The other ones I'm playing by hand. You get the idea. So this is a fantastic feature. Once again, as I said in the beginning, the killer features are the sounds. I hope you heard for yourselves. Absolutely fantastic sounds, and I find all of them sit well in the mix. This thing doesn't do the massively complicated evolving pads that some workstations do, which is okay. I find all of the sounds are usable when you put them in a track, in a mix. So yeah, that's the first thing I love about this. The other thing, the fact that you can very quickly, as you saw, lay down a 4-bar loop with 8 different parts. One of them can be rhythm, and then store that within the scene for instant recall next time you want to jam. That's just absolutely fabulous. So that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time. Cheerio.